All right, so we do have all these parts, and if it wasn't for my brother, I wouldn't know how to do this. Okay? He's not here though, so if something goes wrong, it's just us, people.
Yeah.
Just
We'll still
us.
blame him though.
We will blame him.
Yeah.
Okay, so what whenever I want something to move, I always go to him, and he's like, "Really, you've got to make it difficult." Because what I wanted was I wanted the cake to stay in one place, and I wanted the boats to actually move around the cake. So you can't just use a turntable that turns because the whole cake turns, and I didn't want that, of course. He's like, "Really? Really, you gotta, always make it difficult." So you have to get a couple of motors, okay? There's 2 motors here. I'll show you this one. This one's actually already attached because it needed to be set up and dried. But you can get these online. He said you could get them in eBay. You could probably get them at Radio Shack. There's most motors look like this. There's different sizes, they have like RPMs on them. This one's 16. He said this one was like 120 something.
Ooh.
And you don't want, like for the seagulls, I don't want it to, the higher the RPM, the faster it goes. So can you imagine, woo, those seagulls are like going crazy. But this one will have a little bit more, you have to think about weight too.
Right.
So the things that we're spinning around, I usually use fondant and stuff, but it would probably be a little bit too heavy for this motor. And the more power you have, usually the motor's bigger. And already you can see that I had to put this in here and I had to raise it up this much, so I can't really be raising it up, a lot more just to get a bigger motor and have it go faster and stuff in there. So what he did this for me, is this is an old turntable, as you can see. We just cut out the center of it, and he glued it just to some little wood strips that just sit right above where the motor is.
We take a look at the underside.
Can you
Yeah,
see
there we
better
go.
that
There
way?
we go. There we go.
Okay, so he
Okay.
put 4 of these in and he epoxied the bottom part of the turntable, but so that the top part of it will still turn. So this is like that bar that's under a turntable.
Right.
And then this part will still turn. Now this motor still had a little bit on it like this that sticks out. So what he did is he got a tire. Can you see the tire in there? See, unfortunately I couldn't take this out because it had to dry.
Yeah.
There's a tire in here, and he said it was just any kind of a tire from a hobby store for a toy, one of the trucks that you put together or cars. But he said look for one that has a very small hole in the center where the rim is, or the wheel part of the tire, so that you can put it just right over the bar here, or you can drill a hole in it so it will fit over the bar, because this actually turns right here.
Okay, so that's where we want to get the camera and everything. Do you point at the other
This
one
one
there?
here.
Yeah, let's
This
get a shot
little
of
thing
this.
right
That's where
here
the tire
is what
goes.
turns.
Okay.
So the tire goes on top of this, and he epoxied it onto this bar. But you have to make sure that when you put the epoxy on here that you don't put it like all the way to the edge in this little slot, because then this won't move. The bar has to be able to spin around.
Okay.
The tire has to be epoxied to here so that the tire will move rotate with the little bar.
Okay.
Okay?
Can you show us that? Is it possible to plug that one in that's already there?
Yeah, I can actually go ahead and
Yeah, let's
this
show 'em
one's
what
already
that does.
and then the other one is so they come and they have these little wires already out like that.
They come
It
with the
looks like-
blue wires. Yeah, okay, show
They
them
come with the blue wires.
Let's
yeah.
take a look at the one that's not put together, that one.
Okay.
So you buy it like this.
And it has a plus and a negative, so there's a plus and a negative here for the wires.
Yeah.
And then most of the plugs have a plus or a minus
Yeah.
on their wires. Actually, some of the wires, what they do is they have like it has white lines. One side of the wire is usually solid, and then the other side, like this one, can you even see it on the screen? It's like white with. It's almost like a road where it has the lines in the road.
Right.
It's white and then a break and then white.
Yep.
So that's usually the negative. He said it could be either though, but what do I know?
Yep.
All right, so you need to keep these actually separated so that they don't touch. And then what you want to do is just take the wires and twist them together.
On what other wire?
So this is a wire that goes to the plug.
Okay. And
This is just like a plug.
But do we know what kind of adapter plug that is?
There's like they're all different. It
Different
just you
current?
just have to make sure that these motors don't have a lot of like power
Right.
to them. So any of these, like if you go to pick that up and you need one of these, just ask them. Like this one is, most of the plugs are for more than what the motors
Okay.
can take.
So if you went to a hobby store and you say I need a motor and I also need an adapter or plug some power source for it,
Yeah,
they should be able to give you a power source that'll
they
work
should,
for
or
the
they
motor.
or they can drink. They should have that stuff there.
Okay. Right, come to
Okay,
Marietta.
then if you take some electrical tape and actually go around it, then you don't have to worry about the wires touching,
That's all.
because that'll short it out.
Yeah, and it's already short enough.
Right.
Thank you. And then it goes
Okay,
off.
so it's plugged in, so the motor runs, so the tire is spinning now, and then it's close to this so that it's touching it, and this has to move with it. Okay, so see how it goes fast and it goes a little slow. That means it's probably just not quite totally even somewhere on the board. Like these are just the cake drums; they're not even always level.